Hi my friend, it is Pat Sloan here for my fireside chat version of my daily video, which runs in the evening, so that when it first runs, we have about 25 minutes of a wonderful live chat in the beginning. So people come on and we have a couple thousand people sometimes who will join on Monday evenings. So that's a lot of fun. I hope you get to do that with us someday. I like that part. It's fun. We get, you just talk about all different things. So we have the topic of the day, which is red quilts. And so that means share a picture of your red quilt. If you're not on Facebook, you should be there, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. And I am going to show you my current project. Well, it's not current. I've had it, I think I started it the end of 2019, and I was working on it quite a bit in 2020 until I broke my wrists, and then everything stopped. But I got it out the other day because this is a quilt that I do while I'm doing other things. While I'm sewing other things, I use them to start and stop with 2.5-inch squares. So I brought along my little basket here, so you can see this little basket sits just on the side of my Solaris, just over here, right here. That way, when I'm sewing things, I can pick up 2 squares and put them together and, start or end a series of chain piecing. And so I'll just cut up, and I have shoe boxes full of 2.5-inch squares because basically right now that is my scrap system. That is what I work with because I'm not working with other sizes. I do like to keep other sizes at times, like 5-inch and 10-inch and 2.5-inch strips, anything that is a pre-cut size, because there's lots of patterns out there to use pre-cuts, and so I don't bother with any other size but ones that I can already get. Even like a Jolly Bar is 5x10. So anything that there's already lots of patterns out there, those are the pre-cut sizes I keep. I don't keep odd things like 3 inches and things like that unless I already know I have a pattern that I'm going to use. Then of course that's great because then you're cutting for the pattern. So that's how I deal with scraps. And this little basket is what I'll be working with because, let me go over here. What I did, I put Norm on there. Do you see Norm? I'll pull you in here a little bit closer. There, I just stuck him on the top, but I thought, I have an idea. Not for Norm probably, but maybe for Norm. I've done this quilt in a couple different sizes and a couple different colors. I have a great big, the first one I did was sort of all pastels, light colors, like peaches and light greens and yellows, that and white and off-white. And then I did one alternating green and off-whites and prints with more white that are light. And then now here's the red. So not all of the fabrics are pure white. That's not what I'm going for. It's just they have to be light and then a dark for the red. So there's sections. Here's one section from here over. Then this section goes from here up. I got that sewn. And then I started on this one. And this one's a little odd right now because it's 1 row too long on here, so it's not lining up. And then it's also 1 row too long on the bottom. So that's okay because I know I'm going to make this longer. I just had to figure out if I want it wider than this, because what I'm planning right now is to have it hang in my studio here on the other wall that covers the fireplace. So I want it long enough to go down so in the winter I don't get so much of a draft. I already have a board under there, but I just want to keep it so there's not so much of a draft in the winter. And I might actually do one just to fit over my window space so that it gets really, really cold. I can sort of hang it like a curtain on a tension rod. So I need to get these ones moving along so they can be used. Now I also thought it would be really cute. I've done this with the panda bear once, where I just took a panda bear pieced block and then I did the squares all around it. But I thought it would be cute. What if there were like 3 norms on here? You just sort of space them around and then fill in. Now of course this norm is the wrong color. He should be a red norm to go in there, or he could be green. He looks good. But I just stuck him up there because that is something that if you've got panel pieces, you could alternate them with these checkerboards. And I have a link down below that is a little write-up on how I do this with a bunch of pictures so you can see, and it's when I was doing, I think, the green one. So today your topic is show a red quilt, and that is my red quilt in progress. I have a lot of red quilts. At least I think I do. Someday when I'm documenting, I'll have to, when I'm doing my documentation on the quilts, I can put some notes, so it's for searching. So one of them would be put a red quilt so that I know what the red quilts are. That would be really good. So we have both of the Morrison Park kits are in. And so I want to be sure that you know about them so that you can get one for yourself, because they don't make that many. We have a limited number. We make less than 100 of each, and there's like 184,000 of you or 200,000 of you out there who follow along. So if you want to get one, you want to grab it up. And I am going to show you the two kits here. I'll pop a picture in here. I love how this looks at my dad's house with the hydrangea. I had a lot of fun with my dad helping me. So the links are below, so you can get that. Get your kit. So I don't want you to miss out on it with my Morrison Park. So I have some other things that I'm sort of getting close to finishing, so I want to show you those. One is the zigzag table runner. Yes, here I have it quilted with the, what is it called? Serpentine, I guess you could call that. I just call it a wave stitch. And on my machine, and it's on a lot of machines, this stitch. It looks like a wave. It looks just like this, but it might be tighter, So I want to make the zigzag part of it shorter so that it doesn't go like this, but it goes soft. Because the deeper your curve when you're going through 2 layers of fabric and batting could bunch up. So if you make that a softer serpentine, then you won't have any trouble. And I do use my walking foot to do this. So I don't know if I have my walking foot out. I think I put it away. But this is what I'm doing. So now I have the binding made. So if you're on my Facebook or my Instagram, I showed you a picture of the binding. So here, don't you like to roll binding up like that? It looks so pretty. So there's the binding, and I am ready to put this on the table runner. I'm also thinking of clearing off the credenza in the dining room so that I can display things on there. We shift a few pieces of furniture around in the house, and so what I used to have for some display stuff is now in Greg's office. And so really, yeah, he took it, but I can clear off that credenza and use it in the dining room, which will be really pretty, I think. Now the other one that I'm getting close as I finish the cross stitch. Ta-da! I finished it. The little coffee cup. So cute. I'm so excited. So then this is what it looks like. Now my white didn't show up as well on here as I would have liked, but I didn't have any other color of this stuff, so that's just the way it is sometimes. I could have tea dyed it, and I thought about that. I don't have any Rit-Tan dye. Another thing is a Rit-Tan dye, which will give you that sort of mottled background like the pattern has. There, you can see it. But I decided, nah, I'm just not messing right now. I just wanted to stitch something. So I was actually on a call with my mom, chatting the other day, and I finished the last row. Now, I know, I'm going to make a pillow out of it, and I ordered a 10-inch pillow form, because what I'm going to do is put the words so that it's horizontal and piece it on here. Or I might applique this down like I did for the Halloween one with a little rickrack behind it. I'll see if I have some white rickrack. Wouldn't that be cute? Or pink rickrack. I might have some pink rickrack. So they'll have the pillow base with this, and I thought about just regular red and making a little mini quilt like I hang back there where I'm doing the prim ones, but I decided I'd rather have a pillow. I think I have it in there, and so then I can use this pillow into well, as long as I really want to, couldn't I? But There's no rules about when I take a pillow down, but I would definitely use it through the winter. Now, the other one, let me see. Now, and I don't know, did I move it somewhere? Because I want to do the snowman guy. And, oh, you know what? I may have been super organized and decided to put the snowman in a box because I don't see him right here. Okay, so I don't see the snowman. But I will link you to him. So if you want to see him, darn, I wish I had pulled him out. I don't know where he is. Now it makes me think I gotta go find out where he is. What did I do with him? A few of you asked me about, I'm going to show you this, about some of the holders that I'm using for the cross stitch back there. And here is one package that is really good because it's got different sizes. There's a really big one, and then a medium, and then a smaller one. And so this is a great set. These also have a gusset on the bottom, so they will stand if you've got them filled in with things. So these are really great for holding projects. They're also good if you want to keep like your quilt fabrics all together before you start working on it, and you're working with these rather than bins like I have, like those stacking totes. If you're just using zipper bags for this stuff, those are also very awesome for that. So I talked about making pillows, and when I did the fall stuff, I had that one really pretty print that I made, just a little rectangle pillow. And I said the other day that I wanted to find my fabric, that I knew I had some fabric that would be great to make the little pillow. So I decided I'm going to have true confessions here today on Christmas fabric, because see these bins here? We're going to look in these, well, not all of it, but some of it. I've got these two and the small one. They're all Christmas fabric. Like, how many Christmas quilts can I possibly make? It's like, really, Pat? So I have a lot of Christmas fabric. So I was looking at it and I thought, oh, I still love most of what's in here because that's why it's in here. But I guess over the years, ooh, got something there. Over the years, I'm going to need to actually work on some of these. They're full too. These are not like this is full. Can you see that? So I wanted to show you the fabrics I'm thinking of for pillows. I mean, I could do more than one pillow because I don't know what I actually have for Christmas pillows. I do like to quilt the front of the pillows, so I will have to do that. So let's just take a look. These are all older. So good luck to you if you decide you have to go hunt it down, and you might be able to, but I don't have any links for these. This one is the scenery I was talking about. It's kind of a retro, and I love it. I think, I have maybe enough for a border. So this is Alexander Henry, what's it called? Oh, Merry Midtown by Alexander Henry. And some of their stuff, you can still find it. So I think I got some of these for borders. I'm thinking, oh, they'd be really cute. They'd be cute on the backing. Then there's this one that is really similar and is from 2009. And it's also the same line. It's Merry Midtown, but this one, if you look at the difference, the faces are filled in. Like here, the faces are blank, and here the faces are filled in. It feels very 50s to me. I used to go, here, let me pull this up. I used to go with my grandmother, my Nana, to downtown, and there was a Pomeroy's. Remember Pomeroy's? Anybody have those? And they would fix up all the windows. And we would go because she, I guess, she wasn't one who liked to pick out our Christmas gifts. She would tell us we have, $20, and we would go shopping with her for our Christmas present. And it was always fun. I always thought it was a grand adventure. It didn't bother me at all that it wasn't a surprise. And we would go and look at the trees, and we would go look in the windows. That was just so fun. I love looking in the windows. And the one year I was able to be in New York City around the time that they did all the windows, and I'd like to go do that again. That was so awesome. I was there not during Christmas. I was there like a little bit after, so you know, they're not quite as exciting just after Christmas. Although they're cool, I would like to see them before. So here is the other one, and I'll look and see if I. So this is the ladies in the dresses, the red and white striped dresses. I actually had thought it was on white, so it's on red, and this one is called Holiday Hostess. I actually bought 2 pieces of it. Let me see if the manufacturer's on the other one. That's Michael Miller. So there I have 2 pieces of the Holiday Hostess, but I just think I need a pillow out of her as well. So, so she's my number 1. I've hoarded these for a little while. This one came out, it was from Cotton and Steel, you know, which means, you know, they now change companies and change company names, and so they're Ruby Society now. But the ladies at Cotton Steel did the, oops, they're upside down, the snow globes. Ta-da! Oh, I guess they go both ways. I love snow globes. Love, love, love snow globes. I have a few. Do you guys have snow globes? Anybody a snow globe lover? And this is another Cotton and Steel, which I probably won't make the pillow out of, but it thought the letters were super cute, and I'll probably keep this maybe for the backing on something. So in here are some other great prints, like, wait, there's, oh yeah, here's another cotton. This is a whole line. I think these were all the same line of Cotton and Steel. The glasses, the juice glasses, or they go up and down too. Ta-da, the juice glasses. Ah, I just love that. I love it, love it, love it. So I'm not sure what I would do with the juice glasses, but this is all the fun stuff. You know, you come in here and you look through the things. I put a piece of this in, I think it was my birthday quilt maybe. So the Santas in the cars. I got lots of fun stuff in there. So I want to show you what's in this other box down here, and let me see if I can just sort of slide this over here. There we go. Oh, I'm getting crowded up here. So in the bigger box, I have like a whole bunch of Heather Ross fabric that I saved, which was a Christmas line. I think somewhere there was like a pattern she used. I saved that. Like, does any of this look familiar to you? Do you do the same thing? Do you have 3 boxes of Christmas fabric? Here's some great ornament fabric that I have quite a bit of. So I kept this to do yardage for like maybe a bed-sized Christmas quilt. I've made several Christmas quilts for my bed over the years. I had a charm pack of Cherry Christmas from Anila Hoy that I've hoarded since way back when. I don't think she does fabric anymore. Maybe she does. And then this one, I have to show you the panel. To open this, what do I got going on here? This is this big, huge Christmas panel, and there's a bunch of blocks that were made by some of our group years ago when I had a smaller community. They made all of these Christmas stars for me and signed them, and so I'm going to set them with the Santa panel. So this is one of these vintage Santa panels that I purchased on eBay quite a few years ago when I got the idea. So, ta-da! So you have to hunt around. You have to like search on eBay. They come up. I think they were done by like Daisy Kingdom or something like that. I don't think I even have salvage. The person didn't even send me edges on this one. It was just the Santa, or was this it? It's like a treasure, right? Looking through your boxes, isn't it a treasure? Door panel came with these little, yeah, it was Daisy Kingdom. There. That's what it came with, these 2 little ones. So I have that to do. Like, how many Christmas quilts can one person have? Apparently I think about 30. That might be about the right number. And the last box that I have is the smaller box. And in here I have Corey Dantini's fabrics, and I collect a lot of her fabrics. And so there was like a panel from one of the years back. See, I think this would be cute where if I took the Santa and put him, like the Santa up here. This is what I was talking about. Like you take the panel and you just, you know, surround them then with the squares. Ta-da! So something like that, which would be super cute to do any kind of Christmas panel that you find. Yeah, I have lots of Corey. That whole box is just fabric that coordinated with this and another panel that came with it, and maybe 2 years of those panels. It's like, oh, I really like to just make this stuff. You know, I don't know how you are, but it's like I just want to make it. I have a vision in my head. I want to put it together. I want to see it come out. I want to see how it comes out. It's like creating a painting. You know, I don't need to do something with it afterwards, although, you know, they are a bit bulky, so I have to do something with the quilts. But, you know, really the purpose for me is to be artistic and to create and to make something and take my vision of what I'm seeing and put it in fabric. And so my Christmas stuff is super exciting. One year, maybe next year will be the year where I take one of these visions that I have and do something with it. Maybe this one. This one I will keep because as a little girl, my parents got some sort of a poster, you know, like a door poster. It was made for the door of a Santa that looked very much like this, and they put it inside the door. And I was little, and I believed in Santa dearly, you know, like I still believe in Santa, but then I like really believed in Santa. And I was amazed that I was first looking down the stairway and could see Santa, and then the harder part was like Santa didn't go away. So I kept peeking down the stairs and he was still there. Even in the morning he was still there. And so that was a bit confusing. Because I was pretty little, but I can so distinctly remember looking down there and seeing it. And then we do have a picture somewhere, I've seen it, of that door and me, and I'm like maybe, you know, I'm pretty small, so it's probably one of my earliest memories is of that Santa. So fun. I'm not even sure my mom knows that story. I'll have to tell it to her. Oh, goodness, goodness. Okay, so I thought we'd end with a Q&A. So we have a little Q&A that, let's see. This one was interesting. It was asked a while back, and I think there was a conversation in the group about it because Stacy wanted to know about how do you keep track of how much a quilt costs. You know, she was, I think ultimately we found out that she was doing this because maybe she was going to sell a quilt. And so there's a couple reasons. First of all, do you need to keep track about how much your quilt costs? Like, I don't want to add up all this stuff. You know, like when I go to make a quilt, you know, I'm going to be pulling different things. You know, to me, that's not fun. That is, you know, unless I had to charge somebody, and then I would figure it out a different way. If I was going to charge somebody, I would determine the size of the quilt, the amount of work that goes into it. The fabric is one of the smallest costs. It's significant, but your time is worth a whole lot more for the designing, the making, and then the quilting of it, especially if you are doing the quilting. So I don't personally keep track of how much a quilt costs. I would backtrack it into how much yardage and then how much time, and then figure out a cost that way versus looking at the material goods, like how much thread did I put in it. It's like those are such a small part of the entire thing. You know, just pick a number. You pick $20 worth of thread or something and add it into the hundreds of the others. But yeah, so, you know, if you know, if she had a second part about tracking the hours spent, and that is by doing, it's hard for you to track how much time you spend on a project if you've never tracked your time before. So if your goal along the way somewhere is to know how much time it takes, then you need to start practicing by tracking everything that you do for a project and do several of them till you get to the point where you're like, okay, I know if it's a queen size quilt and I've tracked this 2 or 3 times, I know that it's going to take me you know, 300 hours, you know, something like that. I don't track the time it takes me on mine. I track a lot of other time, but I don't track the time it takes to make a quilt. I just sort of, you know, I don't care. I don't care. I know that I've got deadlines. I know how to back it out from the amount of time, but I don't take each quilt and track how much time it takes. So for those of you who are interested in that kind of a thing, you do have to practice it and get to know yourself and get to know your speed and get to know how much time you have to devote to it. There's a lot of factors for it, but it's fun. It's fun to know that. I know people who track. Do you do this? This is another thing people do. Well, some people. Not me again. I don't do this at all. But some people track how many pieces of fabric are in the quilt. They might say, you know, that there's 3,851 pieces in the quilt. Are you one of those? There's a couple I know who actually put that on their website. They like to track it, put it on the website, and they put at the bottom, like, you know, how big the quilt is, the manufacturers of the different fabrics, if they can keep track of that, and then how many pieces are in it. I just find I don't like to count anything like that. That's just not my gig. But once again, there are numbers people. If you're one of those and that's a fun thing to do, then go for it. Coming soon also is the Little Wishes pattern. I am getting that organized. So what I'm doing is writing for that quilt, for the quilt just as you see it. And then I will have that up sometime before the end of November. Okay. And before we end, I will do a video that will run on Thanksgiving morning, which is also my birthday. So I will tape it, of course, the day before, and I will tape Fridays the day before. So on Wednesday I will tape Thursday and Friday, because I'm not going to tape any videos on my birthday or Thanksgiving. So I generally tape them the day before. So I'll have to tape 2 on Wednesday. But I will run it on Thanksgiving morning. More than likely I'll just let it go at the same time, and more than likely I'll probably be up. So I'll have coffee with you at 7:15 a.m. if you are on the chat on Thursday morning, the live chat for the video. All right, my friend, all the links are below of anything that I found that I showed you. Today was kind of a scrappy collection, old fabric kind of day. But show me your red quilts. I can't wait to see them. Look at that, putting the panels in there. Isn't that fun? I'm gonna take a picture of that with this one and put it in my notes for that panel, because I think that would be super cute. Okay. I love you. Mwah. See you online.